Some mornings, you don't wake up. You resurface. There's a quiet pressure in your chest, and a voice that whispers, "Don't expect too much today." That voice isn't weakness. It's not laziness. It's your old self, not just a memory, but a frequency. One your nervous system learned to trust, even if it hurts. Neuroscientists from Harvard and McGill confirm, over 90% of your thoughts and behaviors are subconscious, rehearsed like a script on loop by the time you turn 35. So if it feels like life keeps repeating you, it's because your energy hasn't shifted. But in the quantum field, change begins where identity ends. Healing is no longer a concept, it's a vibration. The mask you wear? It's not you. It's who you learn to be. Stay with me because in this space, we take it off. And what's underneath is who you've always been. What if the version of you that wakes up every morning isn't really you? What if it's just a mask woven from past pain, stitched by rejection, hardened by failure so well worn that you've forgotten you're still wearing it? This is the old self, the one born not from possibility, but protection, built quietly, layer by layer, as your nervous system responded to moments that hurt too much, embarrassed too deeply, or felt far too unsafe to ever face again. When you were rejected by someone you loved, your brain learned connection is dangerous. When you failed in front of others, your body stored the signal. Visibility equals pain. These weren't just memories, they became neural instructions. The amygdala, your brain's ancient alarm system, rang out like a fire bell. Cortisol stress hormone flooded your bloodstream. Your muscles tensed, your breath shallowed, your world shrank. And so, you shrank with it. To survive, you adapted. You wore masks. You smiled to stay liked, stayed small to stay safe, stayed silent to stay unseen. And over time, these weren't just strategies. They became your identity. But here's the twist, none of it was ever really you. According to Dr. Joe Dispenza, over 90% of the thoughts we think today are the same as the day before. Bruce Lipton adds, by age 35, most of who we are is a set of subconscious programs, not conscious choice. We're not living our lives. We're repeating them. Why? Because the body becomes addicted to the chemicals of emotion. Even pain, even guilt, even anxiety. These feelings, although uncomfortable, are familiar, and the body craves the familiar. Like a smoker reaching for a cigarette, your nervous system reaches for the stress it knows. You say, I want to change. But your body whispers, I just want to feel what I've always felt. So you self-sabotage, delay, doubt, and play small, not because you're broken, but because your biology is loyal to the past. This is not your fault. It's your programming. But here's the good news. What was programmed can be rewritten. You are not the trauma. You are not the fear. You are not the mask. You are the observer of all of it. And the observer can choose again. So the real question becomes, are you ready to stop rehearsing the old self? Are you willing to remove the mask even if it's been there so long it feels like skin? Stay with me, because in the next chapter, we'll step into the quantum field where change doesn't come through force, but frequency, where your future self already exists and is waiting for you to tune in. You've already glimpsed the truth. Now let's learn how to live from it. What part of your old self are you ready to release? Let me know in the comments. Let's begin this shift together. Have you ever wondered why two people can walk into the same room and experience completely different realities? One sees opportunity, the other sees threat. One feels calm, the other panic. It's not the room that changes, it's the observer. Welcome to the quantum field, a space where all possibilities exist simultaneously, like unplayed piano keys waiting for your touch. Modern physics, particularly through the double-slit experiment, reveals a stunning truth. Particles remain in a state of potential until they're observed. In other words, reality doesn't solidify until you look at it. You are not just in the world, you are shaping it. Not with effort, but with attention, with emotion, with your state of being. Think of it like a radio. The quantum field is the entire spectrum from classical to jazz to heavy metal. But what you tune into, that's what you'll hear. You can't expect peace if you're broadcasting worry. You can't experience abundance if your signal is anchored in lack. Every thought you repeat, every emotion you recycle, every belief you wear like old clothes, it's all part of the vibrational signal you're sending out, 24/7. And the field? It mirrors you, not your desires. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls this the moment of wave collapse. Until you observe a reality with focused emotion and belief, it remains just a wave of possibility. But the moment you align with a version of you who already lives it, boom, it collapses into form. Bruce Lipton explains that our perception, not our genes, shapes our biology. Stanford researchers have shown that even changing your mindset about stress can change how your body responds to it. Energy follows consciousness, and consciousness follows belief. So the real power? It isn't in trying harder. It's in becoming the version of you who already lives the life you dream about. What would it feel like to walk into the room as that person? Would you stand taller? Speak softer? Breathe slower? And what if your only job was to hold that signal? To stay on that frequency 7 when the outer world tries to pull you back? Because if reality is a mirror, then the reflection must change when you do. So before you scroll away, let me ask, what are you currently broadcasting into the field? What reality might be waiting just beyond your current frequency? Let's go even deeper in the next chapter. Why we fail to manifest, and how to break the loop. You may be sabotaging your manifestations without realizing it, and once you understand how, everything changes. Stay with me. This shift isn't about force, it's about frequency. And your signal is everything. Does this resonate with you? Share your thoughts below, I'd love to hear your experience. If this video is already stirring something inside you, pause, take a breath, and if it feels right, tap the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Because what we're about to unpack could change everything. Here's a truth that most manifestation videos won't tell you. You can't manifest a new life while feeling like your old self. You can script the perfect future, visualize the dream job, repeat affirmations every morning like a mantra. But if your body still carries the vibration of fear, shame, or lack, then you're just intellectually rearranging furniture in a house built on old wiring. That's why so many people, maybe even you, say, I've read all the books, I've done the meditations, I've journaled and vision boarded, and yet they end up back in the same loop. Sound familiar? This is what spiritual teachers call spiritual bypassing. You're doing the right things on the surface, but underneath, your nervous system is still tuned to survival. The frequency hasn't changed, only the language has. A 2021 study from Yale's Emotion Research Lab found that when emotional states remain unchanged, mindset work alone has little to no long-term effect. Meaning, if you're still emotionally wired to your past self, your reality will reflect it no matter how beautifully you speak your dreams into the mirror. It's not your fault. It's just incomplete. So what's really going on? In the next part, we'll uncover the root cause most people miss. You're not failing to manifest. You're addicted to the identity that doesn't believe you can. This next chapter is raw, honest, and freeing. Have you ever felt stuck, even while doing all the right things? Let me know in the comments. Your story might help someone else feel less alone. What if I told you, the reason you feel stuck isn't because you're lazy, or broken, or unlucky. It's because your body is addicted to who you used to be? Not your mind. Your body. See, the body keeps score. Every emotion you've repeated, grief, guilt, anxiety, unworthiness, wasn't just felt, it was memorized. Like a familiar song on repeat, your nervous system learned to dance to it. Your cells, your hormones, your neural pathways, they all became loyal to that emotional playlist. This is what neuroscientists call emotional conditioning. Your brain releases chemicals, dopamine, adrenaline, cortisol based on emotional states. And over time, you can actually become chemically addicted to certain emotions, even the painful ones. Not because you want to suffer, but because your body craves the familiar over the unknown. You say you want peace, but chaos feels more normal. You long for love, but your nervous system is wired for abandonment. You visualize success, but your cells are still vibrating at not enough. This is the core wound of many who struggle to manifest lasting change. And here's the twist: every time you try to step into a new identity, your body will resist. Not because it hates you, but because it's trying to protect you. It doesn't recognize safety in the unknown, only in repetition. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, author of The Body Keeps the Score, explains that trauma, big or small, isn't just a memory. It's a state. It lives in posture, in breath, in reflex. So to shift your outer world, you must first rewire your inner state. And that starts by admitting you're not just healing the past, you're detoxing from it. So, what does it really take to release the old self? How do you stop dancing to a song you didn't even realize was playing? In the next chapter, we'll begin the ritual of release, a process of gentle, embodied transformation. It's not about force. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. What emotion do you feel your body is most familiar with? Let me know in the comments. This awareness is where the shift begins. What if transformation isn't something you chase, but something you remember? Not a destination, a return. You were never meant to carry the old stories forever. They were chapters, not your name. And the moment you realize this, you begin the sacred process of letting go. The ritual of release isn't loud. It doesn't require perfect words, or crystals, or full moon ceremonies, though you're welcome to include them. It asks only one thing: presence. To witness what was, and make space for what can be. Let's walk this together. Step 1. Name the old self. This part matters more than you think. When you name something, you take it out of the shadows. You give it form, and therefore, you reclaim your power over it. Was your old self always apologizing? Always proving? Always waiting for permission? Name it. The performer, the protector, the ghost, the wall. This is not to shame it, but to honor it. It did what it knew. It kept you safe. But survival is not the same as living. Step 2. Visualize the release. Close your eyes. Feel where the old self lives in your body. Is it tight in your chest? Heavy behind your eyes? A clenched jaw? A shallow breath? Now, imagine it softening. Picture your breath melting the armor. Imagine standing at the edge of a forest, or a mountaintop, or a river. Whatever space feels sacred to you. Hold the old self in your hands like an offering. Then let it go, gently, like ashes to the wind, like a leaf to the stream. This is more than metaphor. A study at the Cleveland Clinic showed that people who mentally rehearsed specific physical actions created nearly the same changes in brain structure as those who physically performed them. In neuroscience, this is called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. So when you imagine releasing pain, trauma, or identity, you're not just daydreaming. You're literally changing your brain. You're telling your nervous system, I am safe without this now. Step 3. Embody the new self. This is the missing piece for most people. It's not enough to release. You must replace with intention. Ask yourself, how does the version of me who is healed breathe? How do they sit? Walk into a room? Speak to strangers? Hold boundaries? And then, do that, even if it feels awkward. Especially if it feels awkward, because your body is learning a new language. Every breath, every movement, every micro-choice becomes a signal, a broadcast to the field saying, this is who I am now. And the field listens. Dr. Joe Dispenza often says, to change is to be greater than your environment, your body, and time. And he's right. True release happens when your inner state no longer depends on your outer story. You're not pretending to be someone else. You're becoming someone real. Someone you've always been, beneath the noise. So take a moment. Close your eyes. Take one deep breath for the version of you that brought you this far. And another, for the one who's just beginning. What did you feel while visualizing the release? Was there a part of your body that let go just a little? Share in the comments. I read every word. This is a shared journey. In the next chapter, we'll talk about coherence, your new emotional home. Because after release, we need to build something stable. A place inside you that feels like peace, like truth, like home. Stay with me. The old self is behind you. The real you is waiting. What if home isn't a place, but a frequency? Not where you live, but how you live within yourself. Not just a roof over your head, but a rhythm in your heart. That rhythm is called coherence. Coherence is when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are aligned. When your mind isn't racing in one direction while your heart aches in another. When your body no longer feels like it's fighting your soul. It's harmony from the inside out. In this state, your nervous system shifts into balance. Your heart rate becomes smooth and stable. Your brain waves settle into a synchronized flow. And in that moment, you're no longer surviving your reality, you're creating it. According to the Heart Math Institute, people in heart-brain coherence experience increased resilience, reduced anxiety, and heightened intuition. Their research even shows that coherence can be measured through heart rate variability, HRV, a biological indicator of emotional alignment. When you're coherent, life feels different. You make decisions without overthinking. You speak with calm clarity instead of defense. You walk into a room with presence, not performance. You stop chasing sign sand, start becoming the signal. Think about it. If you feel worthy, you move differently. Your shoulders relax. Your gaze lifts. You don't seek validation, you radiate it. And reality responds. You begin to notice synchronicities. The email that arrives right when you needed it. The stranger who says exactly what you were just thinking. The sudden lightness in your chest where heaviness used to live. These are not accidents. They're reflections of internal coherence. So ask yourself, what emotion do I want to build my life from? What would it feel like to live from that place daily, deeply, and unapologetically? Let me know in the comments. Your frequency matters. In the next chapter, we'll explore stabilization is the real practice, because finding coherence is powerful, but keeping it, that's where mastery begins. Stay close. The path is unfolding one aligned breath at a time. Imagine planting a seed under the richest soil, giving it sunlight, love, and water for one day, then walking away, hoping it'll grow without you. That's what many of us do after a powerful shift. We feel the change, we taste the clarity, but then life comes rushing back in emails, bills, misunderstandings, old patterns dressed in new faces. And before we even realize it, we've slipped back into the old self. Not because we failed, but because we didn't stabilize. Stabilization is the real practice. It's the moment-to-moment choice to return to the new frequency you've claimed, to protect it like a newborn flame in a storm. Here's the thing, your environment won't always match your transformation. People may still treat you like the version of you they used to know. Deadlines won't care that you meditated this morning. Your nervous system will still flinch when triggered until you train it otherwise. That's why you need anchor identity triggers that keep you aligned. Place notes in places you see daily. Your mirror, your phone, your fridge. Write things like, I am not here to prove, I am here to be. I breathe before I react. I no longer perform for love. Pair these with somatic rituals. Breathwork for 5 minutes when you feel dysregulated. Shaking or stretching when the body stores tension. Placing a hand on your chest to remind your nervous system, we are safe now. Research from UCLA's Mindful Awareness Research Center shows that regular somatic practices significantly reduce emotional reactivity and improve mental clarity over time. It's not magic, it's maintenance. Like tending a fire not once, but every single day. So ask yourself, when life pulls me off center, what brings me back? What daily ritual can remind me of who I now choose to be? Drop your answer in the comments. Let it become someone else's anchor too. In the next part, I'll share a real-life example. Someone who jumped timelines by holding their frequency through the storm. Stay with me. This is no longer about change, it's about embodiment. And embodiment is how new realities are born. Have you ever met someone who felt like they stepped out of a different reality, like they somehow became the version of themselves they once only dreamed of? Let me tell you about Maya. 2 years ago, she was burned out, barely holding her business together, overwhelmed with debt, and stuck in a loop of self-doubt. She had tried it all: strategy workshops, mindset books, even therapy. But nothing moved until one night, she asked herself a different question. What if I don't need to do more? What if I need to become someone else entirely? That question changed everything. She stopped chasing tactics and began doing breathwork every morning. She journaled as if her future self were already alive. She wrote, "I am the woman who leads calmly," on her mirror. And even on the days she felt anxious or unseen, she returned to that identity trigger. Maya didn't magically attract success, she matched it. Within 9 months, her income doubled. Within a year, she moved to a peaceful home near the coast of Oregon. And most of all, she felt free. The secret? She didn't work harder. She didn't hustle more. She simply stabilized her signal long enough for reality to catch up. This is a timeline shift. Not by force, but by frequency. Who would you become if you stopped waiting and started embodying? Let me know in the comments. Your shift could be one choice away. In the final chapter, we'll bring it all together. You don't attract the future, you align with it. Stay with me. The integration begins now. What if your future isn't something you chase, but something that remembers you the moment you match its frequency? This is the final truth. You don't attract the future, you align with it. Like a radio station already playing your song, you just have to tune in. That future version of you, the one who feels peace in their body, speaks with clarity, walks into rooms with quiet certainty, already exists in the quantum field. But you cannot meet that future by staying emotionally loyal to your past. You must become the signal that collapses the timeline where that life is already true. Dr. Joe Dispenza explains that the quantum field responds not to what we want, but to who we are being. So the most important question you can ask each morning is not, "What should I do today?" It's this: which version of me will collapse reality today? Let that question guide your breath, your movement, your voice, your decisions. Let it shift your posture. Let it soften your nervous system. Because this journey is not just about information, it's about embodiment. You've learned the ritual. You've remembered the field. You've seen how stabilization leads to alignment. Now, the path is yours. You are not waiting for your life to change. You are becoming the version of you who already lives that change. And when you stabilize in that identity, life has no choice but to meet you there. So what now? What version of you are you choosing to embody tomorrow morning? Let me know in the comments. Your answer may spark someone else's awakening. And if this journey has resonated with you, if something clicked deep in your chest, tap like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, not just for me but for you, to remind yourself, this isn't over, it's beginning. You are not here to chase a better life. You are here to remember the one already coded into your frequency. Now rise and match it.